Hi guys, in my last video I read a script I had written for the whole video. Not that dynamic delivery is in my nature, but I feel like reading off a screen for the entire video is probably not very interesting to listen to. My speech probably dropped off at certain points of the video. I might not have been speaking loudly and in an articulate enough fashion throughout the entire length of the video. However, I do feel like reading a script before recording a video is not a bad idea for me, as opposed to going mostly off the cuff or just having very rudimentary notes. This being said, if I do get around to making more content, I might try to have detailed notes written out, probably on a screen so it's easier to read. I'll try to find a balance between reading and actually looking right in front of me or into the camera from time to time. Given what I had to say in my recent video, I wanted to avoid tangents and misspeaking, especially when mentioning names of people I had bad experiences with in the past. I definitely did not want to restart arguing with these people or their friends. However, the names I did mention, both for positive and negative reasons, I felt it was important for me to get off my chest or in some cases denounce, given how much grief they put me through. There are names of people I clashed with that I have forgotten, but I did remember a couple since writing my last script. There was a Noah. I believe in Stefan Fire's server. I have trouble not reading Stefan as Steven, so apologies for that. Noah might have been the original person that brought up the accusation against me in that server, and posted the message I had sent unthinkingly and I had completely forgotten about. There was also a Jessica C., who I won't mention by the real name. I believe he was a teenager and might have gotten banned for other reasons after harassing me. In Liam as a Vibe server, I believe the aggressive and persistent harassment directed toward me came from Brandon Legend, the Balance, but I could be wrong about that name. On the positive side, there are also names I feel like I left out. First of all, there is Devin Rose, who I tried to help through tough times. He was a good friend for a little while, but I don't think I've run into him much in the Fifth Age. In the description of my previous video, I mentioned Jennifer Shade from Alexis Star's server. I was in contact with Caleb and them for a while after Alexis's server disbanded. I was, sorry. I also mentioned Chase, whose last name might have been Ironheart. He was a good friend for a while alongside Jasmine, who I'd like to thank again for their persistent friendship through emotionally very difficult times for me. I would also like to thank Corwin again for their friendship, and I hope to reconnect with them someday. In my previous video, I forgot to mention my time spent alongside members of the Pure Clan server, a problematic name from the get-go, I know. Eric Goldcoin, Austin Fohead, Paul Pants, and Mercy were all friends of mine at one point or another, and I thank them for their positive interactions. I would equally like to thank you guys for watching when I upload. I have had a few people come up to me in-game and tell me they've seen my videos, and I appreciate the positive feedback immensely. One name I remember is Mark Soul, so thank you, Mark. I would also like to thank Alex Hart and his friend for the positive interactions we had in the summer of 2025. Everything I am writing and saying, I write as a kind of open letter. I am partly writing to alleviate some of the guilt, shame, and anxiety I hold in regard to Wizard101 and Discord servers. As I remember more details of my time spent in-game and on Discord from summer 21 to summer 2023, I may make more videos of this kind, or smaller matters as addendums to other content I make. If you have any suggestions for content you would like to see, please feel free to leave a comment on this video. Thank you. Goodbye.